It's over. After that, thing was over, man. I think that was the craziest dunk.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast / YouTube / We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. My boy Jay Hills over there in the six. How you doing, my boy?
Doing great, man. The usual, but especially great because we got another good guest on, man. This dude is a Team Nigeria basketball member, 2017, 2018 Ohio Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year, third time in school history at Tennessee State that has happened. Someone's run the award, served as a team captain, started all 32 games, led the team in double rebounding that year, led the team in double doubles. Just the true great player we got on today, Christian Mekowulu. Welcome on to the show. Welcome on the Clutch Talk, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Man,
Yes, sir.
no problem, man. No problem. Like how Jay said, very accomplished, successful college basketball player, just an overall hooper, man. So, Christian, we're excited to have you on. And like how we said a little bit off camera, we're just going to talk about your basketball journey and where it's led up to now and what's next. That's cool with you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Man, cool. So let's jump straight into it, Christian. So, I mean, first thing, born in Lagos, Nigeria. So who put the ball in your hands? You know, who was it that taught you basketball is the way to go?
To be honest, none of my family is there. You know, usually you have like your family put basketball in your hand, and want you to play basketball. But my story was kind of different and unique. So I was a 14-year-old kid walking down the street, and a stranger told me, "Hey, man, you need to play basketball.
Wow.
You're tall." Right. Crazy, right? Yeah, did that, was like, yeah, I gotta get you into playing basketball, and kind of arrange stuff, put me in the academy, and I started playing basketball at the age of 14.
And you never looked back after that?
Never looked back after that, bro. Fell in love right away because I just had something better to do with my time, and like, after school you go play basketball all day. So I just fell in love, really something new and like different. I never played basketball my whole life, Don't even know what basketball is. I grew up playing soccer, like Nigeria,
right.
Play soccer. So when he told me that, I'm like, basketball, what's that? So he kind of explained it to me. He said, hey, you're gonna make a lot of money in the States. You got just play and get better, and we're gonna take you to the States. And I was like, all right, cool. I like how that sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit of how I started playing basketball.
So was it ball originally that brought you over to the States, or were you already planning on moving out to the States after? Like,
no, basketball there.
Okay.
I'm just grateful. I was lucky, God was on my side because when I started playing, when he took me to that little academy and stuff, I started playing. So I had the opportunity to go play in a camp. So this dude, his name is Ejike Obuaja. He's a Nigerian, played in the G League a little bit. He does a camp at home every summer to give kids opportunity, to come to the States over scholarship in high school. So I went to that camp. Mind you, I've been playing basketball for like 5 months only, So I guess they saw me at the camp, thought I had a lot of potential, and then picked me out of I'm talking about 300 kids, at the camp. They picked 60 kids to go do a camp in the States, in Augusta, Georgia. So I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to go to the camp, and my story just took off from there, really.
Okay. And then after, so I know, for me personally, as a hooper growing up, I know you started late, you started ball late, but who was the player? I got to know, was there a player or players, could be from Nigeria, even from the NBA, that you kind of modeled or looked up to after their game? That was oh, I really want to play like Bron, or I really want to play like Jordan or whoever. Was there players that you modeled your game up to after growing up and starting out?
Yeah, I did. So growing up in Nigeria, we have, everybody knows I came to dream. When you play basketball in
Right,
Nigeria, you
right.
gotta know who that
Of
is.
course.
So I keep hearing about him. I came. I'm like, who's this guy? So I go on YouTube. I look him up. He's doing all these moves. Shimmy, shake, spin. I'm like, oh, I want to do this right here. I started like watching him play, trying to mold my game around him. And another dude was Dwight Howard. The way he was just aggressive in the paint, dunking stuff. So I was like, okay, you know what? If I can do this and do that at the same time, hey, I'm gonna be great. So I started like watching more YouTube, trying to do what they do. Yeah, I would say I came in. Dwight Howard was like, guys I looked up to and wanted to move my game around. Damn.
Yeah, absolutely. And then and Christian, you talk about that camp, where there was 300 kids, and you guys are all out there playing to really prove yourself and earn a spot. So I know you said you were playing basketball for about like 5 months prior to that. But what do you think, made you make that team, made you make the top 16? Was it that, you were 6'9", but like what else was it with you?
I think it's my heart, because like I'm talking about the dudes that was out there was like way older than me. I'm talking about 18, 20-year-olds. But I didn't back down. I was still trying to, I was still like kind of raw, I don't really know how to play basketball then, but I was just going hard, trying to get every rebound, trying to just score the ball. I'm talking about a 14-year-old kid going against grown men, So they was like, okay, I think this kid got a chance, and they gave me a chance. And it wasn't over. When I went to the States, it was even more like, a whole different level of competition. I did the same thing over there, and I got a scholarship to play in high school. So I think it was my heart, really. I just didn't like, oh well, they ordered me, I'm probably not good enough. No, I went at them.
Absolutely, that's how you do it. That's a killer mentality. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Christian, so you talked about high school and everything about that. So I want to dive a little bit into more of that. So you said you got a scholarship to Covenant Christian, which was your high school academy in Georgia, right? Because you're already in Georgia at this point. So talk to us about your high school basketball experience. I know you're still pretty new to the game at that point too. How was high school though for you newly acquainted to the game?
I think when I got that scholarship, it was I had a whole different confidence. Like, okay, now I got a scholarship. Like, what should I do next? I got to elevate my game. So I go to high school. I'm talking about it's 12 guys that can play. All my life I've been a starter, even when I can barely like play. But why was I a starter? Because of my heart. I just go out there and work. I might not be the most skilled on the floor, but this dude is gonna get you rebounds, gonna play defense. So that kind of put me on the floor. And when I got to high school, going against guys every day in practice, trying to make sure like before the season start, I'm a starter. So I think that that really helped me get looks in college. But in high school, I should say I was good. I thought I was good because I was competing against kids that, high school kids in Atlanta. Atlanta got hoopers,
Right.
High school kids that have been hooping their whole life. So I was really competing. My sophomore year, I think, was my best year. I was ranked like top 5 in my class in the whole of Georgia. And going into my junior year, I got hurt. I kind of dropped a little bit. Didn't do as good my junior year. And then my senior year, I picked it back up. I finished as, I think, top 15 in the whole of Georgia in my class. And went from there, man. Got a couple, looks from college. Ended up going to Tennessee State, which, I'm glad I went to Tennessee State. I just, I didn't have I didn't have a father figure that, that kind of like knew about basketball and like, okay, this conference, you go to this conference, it's better than this conference. You go to this school, it's better. So I didn't have that. I just, okay, well, I got this scholarship, I'm going.
Right.
I'm a kid from Nigeria, played 3 years in high school, and I'm getting a D1 scholarship. And I know like how it really works, OVC, SEC, ACC. I got a couple of looks from like, officially I committed to Texas Tech, verbally committed to Texas Tech because they had Toby Smith back then as a head coach. But I had a couple of issues with NCAA and stuff. I didn't end up going there. I ended up signing with TSU. But yeah, that was a little background from high school to college. Yeah.
Okay. So that's in terms of that transition to kind of Division 1, and still at this point, you still had like you said, 3 years of experience. You're still pretty new to the game.
Yeah.
What was that like when you get to Tennessee State, like as a freshman? Kind of talk to me about like that experience. And you're still at this point, we can still say like in your story, you're pretty new to the US and being out of Nigeria and everything. So what's that like on the court, off the court, just life in general, like you brand new college campus, man? I know that's a lot.
Hey, TSU was a vibe. Like basketball on the side. TSU in general was a vibe, yo. I can never see nothing like that. I'm just coming from Nigeria. I've been in the state maybe 4 years at that time. The parties, you get all this attention. I'm like, yo, I was focused, but I wasn't as focused like I should be, Mm-hmm. But when it comes to basketball, I liked it because the coaches I had really messed with me. Mm-hmm. And they knew like I had a potential to be at a higher Division 1, level, but I just came there. So they really they put a lot of time with me trying to make sure I'm the best that I can be by the time I leave there, So I think that was the biggest part basketball wise. We didn't play like a whole bunch of top competitions, but I stayed there because the coaches really took care of me as their own, and you don't get that all the time in college.
Yeah.
And so they put a lot of time, a lot of work, and basketball was really cool. But I like TSU, HBCU, the parties was crazy. You partied 3 times a week, It's crazy.
Going up.
My guy Christian was going up over there, man.
I was.
Oh man! All right. Well, I totally feel it. I respect it. I would have been doing the same thing if I was over there, man.
Hey, man, freshman year,
yeah.
You see the party, you don't gotta go home at no certain time. You just out. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So it was a different vibe.
Absolutely. And so you I know you mentioned that at the time, you were just a kid from Nigeria, you get this Division 1 college offer, you're going. And I totally understand, but if could it have been anywhere else? If you look, knowing what you know now and being the man that you are now and knowing what you do know, would you make the same decision? Maybe even the G League route, would you have looked to that?
Know what I know now in terms of say coming out of high school and going to college. Don't get me wrong, I love TSU, but just me being selfish and know what I know now, I would probably went to a higher Division 1 school coming out of high school. Because when I spend 4 years over there, they're going to definitely develop me to become the best, to tap my potential all the way. And in terms of college, going to college and stuff, I mean, I like the fact I got my degree in college, but being a 3-year pro now, if I knew what I knew back then, I would have left college my sophomore year and started playing pro, to be honest with you.
So why is that? So now that you are a pro, so if there's a college kid out there that's deciding on pro or stay, why is that?
If there's a college kid out there right now, I'm actually to ask yourself this question: Do you want to get a degree, or do you want to be a professional? If you feel like getting a degree is your goal, I think you should go ahead and chase that. Finish college. But if you really want to be a pro, you want to make money playing the game you love, I think you should go ahead and just go pro if you're good enough, and come back and finish school later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to get your perspective on that, because we see a lot of kids, are now starting to change their path and not do that traditional college route and do the G League. That's a great answer. But real quick, Christian, I want to get into your freshman year, man, because your freshman year at Tennessee State, man, you did some great things, man. As a true freshman, you end up starting in 21 of the 26 games. You lead the team in free throw attempts, field goal percentage, and your freshman year, second in the team for rebounding. I know you talked about that heart, and you got that. So I can clearly see, because some of these numbers sound like video game video game numbers, man. 27 points, 13 rebounds, 12 rebounds, 12 points, 4 blocks, 17 rebounds, 11 blocks. So you ultimately ended up dominating under the glass your freshman year. So tell us a bit about your freshman year and how that, I know, Jay talked about your life off the court, but on the court, how were you that defensive menace and the dog on the glass?
Hey, like, I didn't really depend on my skills because, like I told you before, it's a whole bunch of kids out here that was way more skilled than me because I got started a little bit late. What can I control? I thought about it. You can control, your heart, playing hard, rebounding the ball. You don't take no skill to rebound the ball. Well, I lied. You kind of take a little skill. Back then, you just got to go. You kind of bigger than most people. You just go and you're going to get you a rebound. But I think knowing the fact that I wasn't as skilled as everybody else, I had to figure out a different way to impact the game and put myself, on the score sheet somehow. So when I thought like, going to every game, I'm telling myself, well, I'm trying to get a double this game. Even if I don't get like double points, I need to get 10 rebounds. I'm supposed to do that. I make sure that's like something I have to do. It's on top of my list. And I think that just helped me. And defensively, you just it's a pride thing. I don't want nobody scoring on me. And if you want to stay on the floor, my coach says all the time, you got to play defense. So, okay, how can I stay on the floor? I got to play defense. I got to make sure my plus and minus is off the chart. Block shots, help defense, help coverage. Like I'm doing all this. I'm just running around. They don't take no skill to do that. So, my coach, before the season, they'll tell you what they want. And they say they want the defense. And the only way I can stay on the floor is playing defense. I'm not going to score 30 every night, in and out. And, that just stuck to me. I had a defensive coach. He was a defensive, minded coach, then a forward. And great mind defensively. But I think having that just helped me take defense even more serious, And I think that what kept me on the floor and was able to put up a little number my freshman year.
Yeah. And that's so true. And it's great you learned that early on, Christian, because a lot of young players, especially you see these freshmen come into these big schools or whatever level, and they expect to play right away, but they're not putting that energy and effort on both sides of the floor. They're worried about points or worried about how many minutes rather than energy and effort. So it's huge that you understood that early on. And obviously your numbers reflect that. But as we know, in like a journey of an athlete and everything, there's some high highs and there's some low lows. So you put up the numbers. You obviously had a great high of a freshman year, but obviously the next year, unfortunately, your sophomore year, I know you tore your ACL. So tell us about that journey, how that happened, and then kind of what happened after that, because that's a tough thing to overcome and happen to you, especially so early on in your career.
Yeah, that was a tough moment for me, really tough. So coming out my freshman year, like you said, I had all this good games, a little good season personally. And after playing that year, I'm like, you know what? I'm taking my game to a different level. I'm trying to be MVP of this league next year. I can do it as a sophomore. When my coach is telling me I can do it as well. So I believe, and I kept putting the work with them. I'm working up. I'm staying in school after school is over. The semester ends, I think, in May. Then you get summer school and stuff. People go home. I didn't want to go home. I stayed back and took extra classes that summer just to stay there and work out. Like, if you want to be great at something you do, you got to put in the work. So I did that. I put in so much work that summer. Pre-season, I get hurt because I just put my body through so much the whole summer. And I was just, I was ready. Like, I was feeling ready. I was anxious. Like, I wanted to play that next year because I was just ready to kill,
Mm-hmm.
Pre-season, I'm talking about a couple of weeks before the season started. I tore my ACL in practice. And, it was very tough, tough. I was a little depressed, whole bunch of stuff, but I had to pick myself back up. And the next year, I still wasn't 100%. I'm coming off an ACL injury. I just pushed through. I barely played that year. I had a guy, Wade Martins, great guy, great player that was in front of me. So I was playing, but I wasn't healthy enough. Like, and throughout when I was trying to come back that same year, I guess I was using my other knee, so like my other leg so much, I kind of like sprained my MCL. So the whole year I was just going through like injury the whole time. Towards the end of the season, like I have a couple good games here and there, but I wasn't healthy really. So I had that kind of season. And then, the next summer, I go back to doing what I did my freshman year, like working out again, trying to trust my legs. So, I just stayed back. I didn't go home, didn't go see no family, started putting in work, weight room, took care of my body, you know. And next year I just, blew up again, like playing. And yeah, like the next year I was just ready to kill. I'm like, yo, all these guys left. It's my turn. Like F that. This is my shit now.
And you saying you ready to kill, you ready to dominate is an understatement, man. Because your junior year, Christian, was just complete dominance, man. I mean, Jay Hill read it at the top of the pod. You won the Defensive Player of the Year that year. Again, it was the third time that award's ever been run at Tennessee State. You served as the team captain. You were started in all 30 games. You led the team in rebounding, led the team in double doubles, second in scoring. Because I know earlier you said like you're not gonna have 30, but I don't know, man. You was low-key kind of lethal on the scoring. And you were a 2-time Adidas OVC Player of the Week. So I guess like my question to you is like what did you tell yourself mentally? What did you do to go from such a low to such a high? You're at the top, and man, you're Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Player of the Week. What was that? What was that progress? What was that like for those out there who are stuck and are trying to get there?
So I think it's a decision you make. Coming out that year, my injury year, most people outside don't know what you're going through on the inside. They think, oh well, he a bum. He doesn't really know how to play basketball. His freshman year was a fluke. And they didn't really know the backstory, like what happened. I wasn't even healthy trying to play. Some guys will be selfish and sit down and don't even play. When I'm not healthy, I'm not playing. But that wasn't me. Like growing up, like where you from, if your leg is not falling out, you got pushed through. And that's how we grew up. So I just pushed through that whole season, finished that whole season, didn't do as great. But the next year, I told myself, nah, like, hey, yo, you came here for a reason. Like you didn't leave your family, make all that sacrifice, come over here and be a regular. You got to prove yourself. So I think that was the kind of mentality I had going into like my redshirt junior year. And I told the coach like, yo, this is my shit. Like I'm not trying to hear it. Like I got a wrong place for me. I need all that. Like forget about the work. I'm gonna put in the work. Yeah, somebody put in this work this summer. So I need it. So and to whom much is given, much is required. As soon as they did that, like I took care of business, and that was why I had that great year. I think it's a decision you make. You just gotta tell yourself, like the mind is crazy. When you tell yourself you want to do this, you can do it. Then again, you gotta put in the work. You don't just say I want to do this and don't put in no work. That way, when you go to the game, my coach used to say this. You don't rise to a level when the competition is tough, when you didn't put in the work. You don't just rise to that level. If you haven't put in that work, you're not rising to that level. You can't just say I want to do this and don't put in the work to do that. So I think I did what I was supposed to do that off season, and that just allowed me to have a great year.
Yeah. And then it kept elevating you, because then, like you were talking about earlier, the chance of playing at a big name, a Power 5 conference, that's something you would have considered had you potentially known what you know now, right? So then you do make that jump. So from the OVC to the SEC, Texas A&M. So I got to ask you, like, what made that decision? Why Texas A&M? What chose you to be an Aggie? And then what was the biggest difference between the two conferences? Because like you said, it was a mid-major conference to now a Power 5 conference, arguably what some call the best conference in the nation, in the U.S., in SEC.
I think going to Texas A&M was a great decision for me. I'll do it again if I had the chance to, if I had to go back to college. But I think going there, when I went on a visit there, the coaches, everybody, they just, I'm a genuine guy, I'm a straightforward person. When you're being genuine, I can just tell, when I went in there, I felt the spirit in there, the coaches, we had a little meeting. I could just tell like they genuinely wanted me. They genuinely, everything they were saying was like, genuine. And I just decided to go. I had a whole bunch of, visits set up. I had Arizona State, a whole bunch of high majors, like trying to transfer out of TSU. But since I went to that visit, I was like, I'm gonna stay here. This is where I want. This is where I want to be because I feel like this dudes right here can help me. So yeah, I think, and obviously the facility was great. Never been no kind of facility like that coming out of OVC or TSU. But I think the biggest reason why I made the decision was the coaches, the coaching staff. They was just genuine people, telling me what they really wanted me to do and why they want to bring me in here, So I decided to commit. I didn't even go home. I think I committed right there and there on my visit.
Okay. So that was a big jump and everything. But so talk about like the game, this just on the court, the difference between the OVC and the SEC. What was the physicality? I know the strength, the athleticism. Obviously, it's a different, but how was it different for you specifically, like in matchups and everything, night to night?
Yeah, it was different. Like, so when you're playing in OVC, like, some nights you get like guys that's really good. Some nights like, okay, I don't even want to play this game because these dudes, But going to the SEC, night in and night out, you playing pros. Like you gotta, I think Texas A&M, told me how to bring it every day, like in practice. You don't take practices off. And when you do take practice off, guys will, bust your ass in practice. And when that's you trying to reduce your minute, like it's a competition out there. The dude coming behind you is as good as you. You can be a starter as well. So you gotta go and practice every day, knowing, hey, I want to play, I want to start, I want my minutes. You can't go on there and, slark off or like, well, I don't feel like practicing today. Well, you're not going to play, that week. So I think it was a big difference. The competition was like crazy. I'm talking about practice and the games. The dude that was playing, well, yeah, I guess he was playing behind me. He was good enough to start, Josh Nee, but he plays in the Euro League right now. Dude was just, crazy athletic. He was good, like really good. I had to go against this dude every day. He dunked on me a couple times in practice. I dunked on him. It was really, it's like a game. Like when you go and practice, SEC practice, it's like a whole game. Like you come out there like you just played the whole game. So it was just different. Weight room was different. The way the work was different. Everything was just at a whole nother level, that really helped me. I changed my body crazy. I got way more athletic. Yeah, and then playing against guys, Kentucky. I'm talking about you playing guys every night. That's good. And like my first game at Texas A&M, I was mad. I'm talking about we warming up. I was mad nervous. I'm like, yeah, because I don't know I never played SEC arena SEC game, none of that. So I was just nervous, but I had a good game my first game. I had a double. Forgot what we played, but just knowing like you hear SEC, like you've been hearing about SEC, but you hear it now, bro. Like what you gonna do?
Man, I mean, yes, it's right there in your face. I mean, you just gotta act now. You just gotta play, exactly. and I mean, and that's really exactly what you did because at your time there, you end up starting 32 games, and again, you were second on the team for rebounding, so still a monster on the glass. So shout out to you, Christian. But a question that I want to ask you is, you talk about some of your teammates or even playing pros every single day, every single game, whether NBA pros or EuroLeague, wherever. Who to you, whether it's on your team or somebody you play against, was the hardest guard? Like you just think like, man, like I don't even want to think about them right now. Like who to you was the hardest guard that you had to go up against?
I think as crazy as it sounds, South Carolina, yeah, it's SC, yeah, South Carolina. It's crazy. This dude's what's his name? It was a boy name. I think Silver. This is skinny. He doesn't look big or nothing, but oh boy plays hard. South Carolina, I think, was the toughest game I had to play in the SEC. They just played straight. They just played hard. They just all dogs. They probably didn't have no lottery picks or nothing. But when you step on the floor with them boys, they will kick you. They will kick your butt. I think that was the toughest game I played in the SEC. Silver was just a tough dude to guard. I mean, I guarded him, but he was just, you don't take no positions off for him. He gonna make you pay. You gotta be on your P's and Q's every time on the court. So I think South Carolina was the toughest matchup I had when I played in the SEC. Kentucky was okay. Against Kentucky, we was actually doing good. I think it was smacking to Kentucky about like 15 first half at home at their home. And they eventually came back and won. But I think South Carolina was them boys was something else.
Okay. So then, I mean, look, I can see it in your face, Christian. I can see a little bit of that trauma when you talk about it. so then, before we talk about your professional, your pro career as a pro hooper, we need one good solid story, Christian. Whether it's an in game, in practice, or you dunked on somebody dunking on you, something crazy happening. We need one.
Oh man. Let me think about one. We had a whole bunch of crazy stuff where we on camera. I can't be saying nothing crazy. Well, I think probably Josh Nibble dunking on me was crazy. And when I say dunking on me, it's not something you expected he was supposed to dunk. This dude is just crazy athletic. Like I've been playing basketball for so long. I've never seen nobody else. He's a 6'9", probably got a 50-inch vertical.
Man, that's ridiculous.
That's great.
Oh yeah, I think I should go look him up. He played with Zalgiris last year, EuroLeague team. I'm talking about he's doing the same thing in EuroLeague right now. Dude is crazy.
Man,
I'm talking about. I'm just this dude rebounds the ball offensively. I'm just like this, Hey, what you
walling off?
Walling off. This dude takes off on this side of the rim and finishes it on the other side of the rim this way.
Oh. Damn.
Man.
God.
He's serious that.
I looked, I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? I'm talking about he offensive rebounds on this side of the rim, jumps and dunks that shit this way on the other side of the rim.
Man.
Jeez.
Crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not jumping with this dude no more. It's over. After that thing was over, man. I think that was the craziest dunk anybody ever had on me. And he still does the same thing. This dude is unbelievable, yo. It's crazy.
Superhuman.
He is.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think that's the craziest thing that ever happened to me in college in terms of basketball.
Okay. So in terms of let's move on to your after Texas A&M post career. Obviously you had a solid college career. So talk about your decision afterwards, being a pro, like hiring an agent. What was that like? Your decision to go pro, where you wanted to play. What was that whole process like afterwards, after Texas A&M?
It wasn't easy. I wouldn't say it was easy. It wasn't easy. After college, signed to an agent. I was in Arizona working out the whole summer. Yeah. When you're a first year pro, they don't really trust you unless you're like a top guy. Like say you got NBA, knocking on your door. They'll give you that bag coming out of your first year, and trust you to go over there and play and help them win. But I was kind of like unknown. People didn't really like know me on a national level, So it was kind of tough. I think I'm a first division player, but coming out in college, I signed to a second division in Italy, which is still good. Don't get me wrong, which is pretty good. Second division in Italy is better than a couple of first divisions in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went there, I didn't feel disrespected. I just felt a little like, okay, you know what? These people don't know what they're doing. Like I should be first division somewhere, But it's so good. I have to prove myself every time. I'm not used to this. I'll do it again. So I'll go second division, Italy. I feel sorry. I'm gonna apologize to the people that had to guard me because I was trying I was on a mission. I never been on a mission. I was on a different mission. Like my mentality was crazy. It's like, okay, do you like you trying to stop me from feeding my family type shit, So I'm talking about every night. And coming out of Texas A&M, like I knew how to bring it every day now because they prepare me for that shit. So every night I'm coming over, I'm trying to get 30 every night. Ended up, I led the league in rebounding, was like maybe top 10 in scoring. Then I jumped the next year to the first division league. It was all this talk. It's probably won't be good enough. He coming out A2, he needs time, this, that. Killed it my second year too. Was one of the best bigs in the league, League of Basket, Italy, first division, which is a top league, like, overseas. And obviously, I just finished this year, but I think, my first year was crazy. Like I was just ready to destroy whatever was in front of me. And I think that helped me. Like, I'm still playing now. I'm still getting jobs now. I think that mentality just helped me because I think with me, like my biggest attribute as a basketball player is right here and right here. It's not about my skill. When it comes to skill, I probably won't get a job because I'm not the most talented, But just having heart and being able to go out there and like playing hard, trying to do other stuff, other little stuff, the team needs to win, And I pride myself as a winner, so I think that's been helping me, become a better pro.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, Christian, I don't even want anyone out there or even you to even diminish that when you signed that first pro contract and you went to go play in that second division in Italy, because man, look, I'm a basketball player. I played basketball my whole life. So did Justin. And as a basketball player, there's nothing that I wish more to be playing professional basketball, right? So I give hats off to you and to anyone that has ever played professional sports, anywhere, because becoming a pro is insanely hard. It doesn't matter where you are. I believe, I don't want to butcher the stat, but I believe it's like less than 2% of Division I athletes end up actually going pro and having a successful career. So man, that's all hats off and shout out to you, Christian. But like how you said, man, that first year you came in and killed. You started in all 24 games, averaged at 16 points on 48% from the field. But I need to know, Christian, that was your first time really playing against these pros. So did you have a welcome to the pros moment where you're like, damn, I'm not playing college kids that are going to the dorm after. Like I'm playing a dad who has like 3 kids and is trying to feed them.
Right. I think A2 my first year. I didn't really like, I didn't look at those dudes like I looked at them like, yo, I'm better than you. I shouldn't be here. So when I went on the floor, it's like, yo, you're not gonna do nothing with me. Even if you're good, bro, you're not gonna do nothing with me. You playing A2, I shouldn't be here. That was how I approached every game. So so I didn't see no competition. When I was at A2, I mean, trust me, they had good players in A2, good players, but just what I saw, like my mentality made me like see dudes like, bro, you nothing. Like I'm gonna kill you. So when I didn't really have no like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good or hey, damn this pro. Nah, I was just ready to make that jump. And I was on my second year already, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna take care of business right now because my second year I'm not doing this again. I shouldn't be here. That was the mentality I had the whole season. So even when I was playing against dudes that was good, I just felt like I was better than you, bro. Like, like you're not gonna do nothing with me. Like I'm about to kill you tonight. It's gonna be a long night for you. And that was kind of mentality I had the whole season. And that helped me. That helped me a lot.
Barbecue chicken.
So, yeah, that was easy. That was easy work, and that's important to have that mentality. So Christian, the next year we have here you played at Nutribrillet at Treviso, and you averaged 12 and 6 in that season. And then you went on to play also Serie A as well at Sassari. I know we had a couple of weeks ago, we had our guy Shane, obviously Shane Lawal, Nigerian, played on a Nigerian basketball team as well. Is that the same Dynamo Sassari that you were on, or is that a coincidence?
Nah, it is. It's the same.
Okay.
They were there a couple years before me.
Right. Okay. How was that? So like Syria, Sassari, how were those seasons for you in Italy? Now you're at the top level, Division I Italy, like that you had talked about being such like a high level, and he talked about it too. What was that like in that division?
Oh well, that division is you play against good players and good teams. You know, even if it's
Right.
not like individually like a good player, you play good teams that's gonna scout you. You can't go there and do what you do. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have a different mentality when you go out there every day to play. You know, it's different. It's different. Like playing against people like Milano, Virtus, this like Euro Cup teams, EuroLeague teams like got millions of budget. You know, they sign great players, NBA players, stuff like that. So when you go into games like that, it's tough. Like you come out the game and man, I gave my all. Your all wasn't enough. You know, that was a whole different level. You know, and it was good. It was good. I think this year, my first year, obviously, my first year I played against the same dudes, and coming out of that A2 year, I told myself I'm good. Like, hey, when I go in here, I'm killing. It's going into my first year as in Serie A. I had a good season. People didn't expect me to have a good season. The whole talk was, hey, you might need another year. Obviously I struggled like the first couple of games of the season, but like the second part of the season, like I took off. I was like a surprise. Like we didn't know this was gonna do this in this league. So obviously that was how I got my other contract with Dinamo Sassari. We had a great year this year as well. It was like top 6 before I left there. I left and I finished in Spain. Yeah, I think he's. I mean, I'll definitely go back to Italy. That's like my second home now. I played it 3 years in a row. Obviously now I'm ACB Spain, but if I definitely get a chance, I will go back to Italy if the right opportunity presents itself.
Okay. So yeah, you mentioned Spain, Liga, ACB, which is everyone says outside of NBA, that's the top division. Talk to us about your most recent season with Zaragoza, and how you feel about that comment. Luka said, I'm sure you've heard this. Luka Doncic said that ACB is tougher. The defense is harder to score on than the NBA because there's no help side and all that. I know in FIBA and Europe you can help side. Like, talk to us about the level of basketball or difference from Italy and just overall what you think of that statement and how it was for you playing in the ACB.
ACB, whatever they said about ACB is true. That's a tough league. That's a good league. I think outside of NBA, maybe EuroLeague, then you're talking ACB. Because every team is good. They have a lot of great mind coaches. Most of the coaches out there, they call them the ABC coaches because they really know basketball. I only played I think 10 games with Zaragoza, but those 10 games was I'm talking about when you walk in the gym like to play, the atmosphere is just crazy. Spain love basketball. I'm talking about when you walk in there, it feels like you're in Kentucky. Like it's a whole like the gym is packed, like they're going crazy. And it was a different experience for me, being my first time playing ACB last year. Obviously, I'm going back this year. It was a different experience, but I just feel like if you're a hooper, you're a basketball player, you're gonna hoop wherever you go. That's how I look at it. There shouldn't be no level, better than you. You gotta go over there and prove yourself. And with me, I just don't want to be a basketball player. I don't want to say where I'm just on the team or I'm just I want to be good at what I do. I want to be the best. I want to be one of the best at what I do. I don't just go to a team and say, let me do what I can now. So when I went to ACB, I was trying to kill. Obviously, I came and I joined the team when the season was almost over. I only had 10 games. So it's harder for teammates to trust you because they don't really know what you do. But I still prevailed. I did what I had to do. I had a great game against the number 1 team, EuroLeague, number 1 team in ACB, which was Barcelona. Went in there and killed them. I said, hey, we call that money game. It's my money game. I'm going over there to kill. So I went over there, did my thing. We won that game, wasn't supposed to win. And obviously, I'm going back there. They signed me back because they trust. They feel like I can play there, and I know I can play there. So I'm going back this year. You know what time it is. I'm going back this year to do my thing, ACB.
Yes, sir. Kill mode. Hey, Christian, we are in full support, and we're ready for it this year. And Christian, you talk about you want to be you want to be the best version of yourself. You don't want to just be out there to be an average player. And I think that a lot of other people started noticing that, man, because this year, the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifier, you have the opportunity to represent your country. So I want to, something that I generally want to know, like, and the same thing we asked Shane in the Shane's interview is like, how does it feel to represent your country? Like, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like less than 1% of anyone can say they've even did that. So how does it feel to say, like, I am representing my country?
Bro, it was a great experience, great feeling. I was super, when I got that call from Mike Brown, I was super excited. When you're a basketball player at home from Nigeria, your first dream when you start playing is, have that Nigeria say that over your chest, So I've been, dreaming about that my whole, career. I tried to play, I think last year, they had I got invited to the Olympic camp in San Francisco. I wasn't able to make it. I had some, some issues. I wasn't able to make it on time. And then, I was kind of sad, but you know what? I said, I'm going to have the opportunity again. So when this window came up and Mike Brown called me and the GM called me and said, hey, do you want to play? I was like, yeah, I want to play. It was a short window. I went over there. I was super excited, Mind you, like I just got out of season. I'm chilling. I'm trying to rest my body. Usually I wouldn't do that, but Nigeria calls me like, this is your whole country, like, going to represent your country. That's like, there's no like greater, feeling than that, being able to represent the country that you from. So when they did that, I was like, yeah, I'm in there, sign me up. So, I went over there, we did our thing, took care of business, passed our bracket play. We have another one coming up another window coming up in August. Hopefully I have the time to go play and represent them again. But yeah, it was a great feeling and great experience, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's huge. And I know you did perform well. I know in the most recent games against Uganda and Cape Verde, you averaged 11 points a game, 8 rebounds. So still doing your thing on the glass. The board man does get paid, obviously, because you're a great example of that. So good on you, and I know it's quite the honor to represent and have that Nigeria across your chest. So let's talk about, like, out of all your stops, you've got a chance to represent Nigeria. You've played at the highest level in the SEC. Do you feel like there is a player who could be in the NBA who's not in that? Could be you, like, you still have that potential, obviously, because you played at every level. Like, is there someone, a player that sticks out to you that, like, man, this dude's just cold, out of all these stops you played at, that's kind of underrated? Who is that for you?
Yeah, I know I'm gonna say myself, I'm a guy. I think I'm a guy NBA teams would need. A guy that don't need the ball in his hands. He's gonna come in there, play defense, rebound the ball, pick and roll. That's the game. That's the new, basketball. Well, not new basketball. That's what you do now. I'm great at these things. Obviously, all I can do right now is keep getting better. I'm not even close to tapping my potential. So I think I'm definitely hoping and walking towards that. But I think me for sure, like I want to be able to play in the NBA. Like that's every kid. Like if you playing basketball, you want to play in the NBA. That's like the hierarchy of basketball. Mm-hmm. So definitely, I want to do that. I'm gonna keep getting better. I definitely asked around, what do I gotta do to get there, and I'm definitely keep working. I haven't closed that window yet. Because I want to keep playing this high competitions. But I believe one day I will definitely be there for sure. I think me definitely. Mm-hmm.
Man, and Christian, I believe it too. I'm sure the family believe it at home. Everybody out here believe it, and that actually transitions us perfect until us, kind of wrapping up here. And Thank you, Christian, for this great conversation that we've had so far. But I just want to know, what's next for Christian besides the NBA? We know you going to the league. We know you're going to get a roster spot. But besides that, what's next for you on the court, off the court, anything? We want to know what's up with our guy, Christian.
What's next for me? Obviously, keep playing basketball, stay healthy. I pray God stay healthy. And I think in a couple years, I want to start giving kids the opportunity back home to be able to come to the States, go through the same journey I went through, become a pro and get an education, whatever it is you really want. I want to be able to give you the opportunity to go out there because it's a whole bunch of talent back home and a whole bunch of hungry kids that's ready to do whatever it takes to get to, where they go. So I think that's what's next for me. Obviously, I'm still playing right now. I don't have a lot of time in my hands, but I'm definitely working towards that. I don't want to just go home and do a camp, just to say I gave back to the kids, but I want to actually impact their life somehow by moving them out of there and not just go over there, give them a couple shirts and shoes and say, I want to do something that's going to change their life. So I think that's what's next for me. And I'm definitely thinking about that. I'm putting stuff in play, but yeah, it's going to be coming soon. Mm-hmm.
Okay, for sure, man. So we'll be on the lookout, and all the family out there, man. Make sure you guys are on the lookout for everything that Christian's got going on. And if you love the NBA and you just love watching good basketball, watching just good, genuine people, man, make sure you follow our guy Christian, man. I'm gonna drop all of Christian's social media, Instagram, everything down in the description down below. And if you're on YouTube, it'll be right there, right in his little bubble. So just make sure you show our guy Christian some love, man, and just follow his journey, man, because I know this is going to be, when I'm older, I'm going to be like, man, my guy Christian been in the league killing it for a couple years now, double every year.
Thanks.
Man, well, Jay, you got any last words to say before we wrap up here?
Yeah, well, I mean, Christian, appreciate your time and coming on. And your hard work is gonna pay off, and it already has paid off too, to get to where you're at in your career and everything. But I always like to ask our pro guests who come on, what is one thing as we kind of wrap up here? What is your one thing you'd give to advice to a younger hooper, even a younger you, like you coming over here? What is a mindset and mentality you've learned through all these years of being a pro, playing at such high levels? What's that advice to a younger hooper you'd give out now?
Right now, I'll tell a younger hooper, I'll tell my younger me, don't listen to what nobody got to say. If you feel like you can do something, you go do it. Put in the work and get it done. You're gonna always have critics out here. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's not gonna do this, it's not gonna do that. Fuck all that. What do you want to do? Do you want to do that? Go get it done. Put in the work, and make sure it happens. Do not listen to what nobody got to say. I think that's the biggest, advice I wish someone told me, like growing up. Like, hey man, if you want to make it to the NBA, you're gonna make it to the NBA. Do not listen to what all these critics got to say. He's not good enough. You can't do this. You can't do that. No, you go do it. You can do it. Just put in the work and you're gonna do it.
Man, absolutely. I love that. Honestly, Christian, I can't even top that. So I think that's a good way for us to go ahead and wrap the pod up, man. Just if you believe in yourself, if you got a dream, like how our guy Christian said, just put the work in and don't listen to nobody else, man. But right. Man, all right. Well, Christian, we just want to thank you, once again, and for all the family. Make sure you guys follow Christian, everything that Christian got going on. Make sure you follow us, like, comment, subscribe. As always, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. If you're on Apple Podcasts, it's at Clutch Talk Podcast. If you're on Spotify, it's at Clutch Talk Podcast. Just check us out, man. But if that's it, then we out of here, y'all. Clutch Talk out.
Peace.